What do we have here? Got something from Amazon. I'm going to open it with this Fintizo because we just looked at this thing and kind of did like a follow-up review on it, and it's kind of a budget knife. This is a super budget knife. This thing was like $18, man. I haven't had one of these in a while, not in a long time, probably a couple years. They're kind of one of those companies that, they get in trouble now and then for different things, not having the right steel, doing clones. Now, this one, as far as I know, is not a clone, but it is the Eafengrow EF233 folding camping hiking jade. So let's see what we get for our like $18, $19 with tax. Okay, that's a big sucker. Whoa. I was not expecting quite so big of a beefy unit. Interesting. I wonder if it's all oily. Kind of has the look of something that would be somewhat oily. Okay, not too bad oily. Boy, this thing's kind of a chunker. Let's see, what do I got around here to compare it to? All right, we got a couple of big boys here. And then we got the Fintizo, which is like average size knife, like a 3.5. So we got, I think this one's close to 4-inch blade, probably like 3.8, 3.9. And then we got this one, this is like a 3.7. And then this is like a 3.5. So let's look at this Eafengrow. Oof, that's a big chunker, man. Look at him. Look at him. He's yeah. Oh, yeah. He's right there with the biggest boy. Shit, I bet he's like a 3.9-inch blade. The lock bar is not the easiest to access. Boy, it's funny. I haven't messed with an Eafengrow in a long time, and I can feel the cheapness of it. I can feel that it's cheap. I can feel that they didn't finish the edges. Like the edges are sharp. That's a sharp edge right there. They didn't do anything with that. They cut that hole through the blade, and they didn't fucking look at it again. They said, okay, that hole's cut. Now this top edge has a little bit of a chamfer. You can see a little reflection there of the chamfer, but there's none here. That shit is sharp. You could just about cut yourself on that edge. Now, can you cut yourself on this edge? Is it even sharp enough to cut anything? Let's find out. Let's see. Okay, yeah. I mean, for Eafengrow, it's not super sharp. Now, look at the edge of that lock bar. It's got these nice little knurlings here, these nice little jimpings, but it's a little sharp right there on the edge. So that could be better, but it's not terrible. It's also a really strong lock bar. What's that lockup at, man? Close to 50%. So that's not the best. That could be a little better. Milling inside on the liners, pretty substantial. They did quite a bit of milling in there, big holes to lighten it up. I think it's got pretty good balance. Not super heavy. Yeah, average weight for its size. Maybe even a little bit light for its size. Centering, not quite on. A little bit to the other side there. Yeah, it's a little bit loose too in the pivot, so that could be why it's a little bit moved to one side. Boy, those bearings look very small. Like a very small diameter bearing. I mean, it's not a huge deal, is what it is, but stop pin is very close to the pivot. I don't love that. It's not way up here at the top like it should be. It should be way up here, far away from the pivot. Oh, that's interesting. I didn't even notice that. It's got some nice little milling lines on here, just some random patterns. Some what do they call that in the sci-fi movies? It's got some greebling, some interesting greebling on it. Very typical cheap knife lanyard hole. They just cut a hole through both sides of the liners. The standoffs are kind of neat looking. Look like brass maybe. Yeah, I'm not sure. The flipper tab has jimping going all the way around, like they actually listen to people. Very grippy. Very grippy. Yeah, if it was a little bit easier to unlock, it wouldn't be too bad. It feels a little brickish in the hand. Maybe it's a bit on the thick side. Yeah, it's the same thickness as this Tucson that has much more contouring going on Makes it feel a little just more comfy. This is like a nice flat, I mean not nice, a very flat, slabby feeling to it. You could have a little bit of contouring going on, it would be nice. This side of the G10 right here is in the way of the lock bar. You try to press it with your thumb, and the meat of your thumb on the other side runs into this side. So it could be lowered down a little bit, and it would help. Or even just put an interior bevel there, and you would be much better at getting the lock. But it's not terrible. Boy, that is a scroungy feeling. I'm not sure what exactly that feel is. I think it's just the, well, might just be the bearings. I don't know. A little bit of a rough feel, though. Oh, it's hollow ground. Okay. So it's a hollow grind. It's not a terrible looking grind. I mean, it's not great, but I've seen worse. It's got a decent shape to it, a decent look to it. You know, it's not terrible. A little squishy. For having two decent standoffs there and fairly thick liners. I guess maybe because they're cut out so much on the inside, there's a little bit of a squish, more than most knives. Let's see. Shit, I don't have any. Oh, well, this one. Is this one not squishy? Yeah, it actually is. So this is a artisan, and it's a very thin knife though, so kind of hard to compare. This one should be a little more stout, as thick as it is. And they feel about the same. They have about the same squishiness to them. And because this one's so thin, it kind of is excusable. Let's get these other guys out of the way. Yeah, man, but that is definitely an Eafengrow feel of that lock, or of that blade going down. It just has a click to it. I don't think you can hear it. Maybe a little bit, but it definitely has a click feel. Nice looking jade though, not bad. Yeah, I think I might try to tidy this one up a little bit, make it look a little better. That pocket clip, that is ugly as hell. What the fuck? They could have done better with that, man. That is ugly. We could bend that part straight and just have it be up a little bit at the end like normal. Something like that. But we'll do something decent with it, you know. Looking at it this way, the centering looks less off. Yeah, it's not, well, it's off. Yeah, definitely off. But it's not terrible. I've definitely seen worse. Is it super movable? Let's see here. Yeah, it's got quite a bit of movement to it that it can move. Probably because those bearings are so freaking small. If you can get some wider diameter bearings on something, it gives it more support because it's held here on this side by bearings and here on this side by bearings instead of just little bearings that are right near the center that let it wobble and go everywhere it wants to go. Let's see, once it's locked up, it feels pretty solid. But man, that lockup at 50% or maybe even 60 is not the best. You know, I had to try it. Super cheap. It's a fine beater knife, loaner, maybe a giveaway if I fix it up a little bit. Yeah, it's not terrible. I mean, it's Eafengrow. They haven't gotten much better. I was, you know, that's one reason I was kind of trying them out to see if, oh, have they really improved their quality some? But no, I don't think so. About the same. About the same as they were. Boy, look at that. Little artifact there from the milling process. Didn't quite get that little bit right there.
Magnify, 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 magnify. Wow, ain't that some shit? Resume.
All the way across. That's funny. Maybe a water jet?
Probably wire EDM and a fat worn out wire at that.
Yeah, I didn't quite get that bit cut out of there. Right there. Missed. Looks like it's a captured pivot, hopefully, because there's no bolt on this side. Well, anyway, not really disappointed, but also not surprised at it being better than I thought it was going to be. The Eafengrow EF233, it's okay, you know, for a super cheap knife. It's fair. Have a nice day.